I turned 60 last winter, and the strangest thing happened. I started sounding like my father, not in my voice, but in my silence. I used to wonder why he talked so little, why he could sit for long stretches staring out the window as if he were watching a movie no one else could see. As a child, I thought it was boredom. As a young man, I thought it was sadness. Now I know it was neither. It was life settling inside him. The morning after my birthday, I woke up before sunrise. The house was still in that way only early mornings can be. My wife was asleep, breathing softly, unaware of the thoughts already crowding my chest. The children were long gone, building lives that no longer required my daily presence or advice. I made myself a cup of tea and sat alone at the kitchen table, watching steam rise from the cup. And for the first time, I felt the full weight of everything that had already happened. At 60, you are not old, but you are no longer young enough to lie to yourself. You cannot pretend time is endless. You cannot ignore the quiet voice that asks uncomfortable questions. You begin carrying invisible folders filled with memories. Some hold laughter and warmth, others hold disappointment and regret. All of them belong to you and no one else can carry them. I spent nearly 40 years being busy building a career, busy earning respect, busy providing stability, busy solving everyone else's problems. I told myself this was love, and in many ways it was. But looking back now, I can admit something harder. I was also running from stillness, running from conversations that required vulnerability, running from emotions I did not know how to express. My father did the same. I see that clearly now. He worked long hours and came home tired. He rarely complained and never explained himself. When I was young, I wanted stories from him. I wanted advice, jokes, affection spoken out loud. Instead, I got quiet consistency. He showed up every day. He paid the bills. He fixed what was broken. He stood in the background of my life like a shadow I never thought to study closely. I mistook his silence for distance. I mistook his calm for indifference. When he died, I cried for 3 days. 3 days of sharp pain and unanswered questions. Then I went back to work, because that is what men like us were taught to do. Life did not pause for grief, and neither did I. I packed my sadness neatly away and labeled it responsibility. At 60, regrets do not announce themselves loudly. They do not shout or demand attention. They arrive quietly, like soft taps on the shoulder when the room is empty. They appear in ordinary moments, while washing dishes, while driving alone, while hearing an old song you forgot you loved. You regret the conversations you rushed because you were tired. You regret choosing productivity over presence. You regret the times you assumed there would always be another chance to say what mattered. Later has a way of disappearing without warning. At 60, you finally understand that life was never about the big achievements you chased so fiercely. It was about the people who waited while you were busy chasing them, and once you see that truth clearly, it never lets you go. Last year, my son came to visit. He is 32 now, confident in the way only someone with time still ahead of them can be. He talks fast, walks fast, thinks fast. His phone is never far from his hand. We sat together on the porch in the late afternoon, watching the light soften, and between us was an awkward silence. Not uncomfortable, just unfinished. It was the same silence I once felt sitting beside my father, the kind that feels heavy because no one knows how to enter it. And suddenly something shifted inside me. I realized that silence is not emptiness. It is accumulation. It is years of swallowed words and postponed emotions. It is the weight of responsibilities carried quietly for decades. It is the exhaustion of always being the reliable one, the provider, the man who does not fall apart. It is love that was never spoken because it was shown instead through sacrifice. I looked at my son and understood something that hurt in a new way. He did not understand me yet, not because he does not care, but because life has not demanded enough of him yet. He has not had to make choices where every option costs something. He has not stayed awake at night wondering if he did the right thing for his family. He has not buried people who once felt permanent, and I forgave him for that, just as I forgave my younger self. That evening, after dinner, when the house was quiet again, I felt a familiar urge to retreat into silence. It was easier, it was safer, it was what I had practiced my entire life. But something inside me resisted. I thought of my father and all the words that died with him. I thought of how much I had wished, after it was too late, to hear him say just one more thing. So I spoke. I told my son that I was proud of him, not just for what he had achieved, but for the man he was becoming. I told him that I missed him when the house felt too large and too quiet. I told him that strength does not mean silence, and that being a man does not require swallowing everything that hurts. He looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. His eyes softened. He did not say much, but when he hugged me, it was different. It was not a child hugging a provider. It was one adult recognizing another. At 60, I learned a brutal truth. Life does not reward you for how much you carry alone. It does not give extra points for silent endurance. It rewards you for what you are brave enough to share while there is still time. My father loved me deeply. I know that now. His silence was not distance. It was sacrifice shaped by the world he grew up in. I forgive him for the words he never spoke. And more importantly, I forgive myself for repeating his silence for so long without questioning it. If you are younger and reading this, listen carefully. Do not wait until your hair turns gray to say what matters. Do not assume time will make the words easier. It rarely does. Speak while your voice is still strong and the people you love can still hear you. If you are my age, hear this clearly. It is not too late. Silence can still be broken. Love can still be spoken. Presence still matters more than perfection. At 60, I finally understood my father. And in understanding him, I finally understood myself.